Hello everyone and welcome to the inaugural episode of Last Week in Comics This Week. My name is Dustin Dry with the Two Birds Stone. This is the YouTube show where I, Dustin Dry, will be reviewing number one comics from the previous week and letting you know should you pick them up or should you skip. Reviewing different comics that I'm reading along the way and letting you know, hey, I might want to scoop this up because it's pretty great. Or, as it's all collected and the trades are about to come out, whether you should pick up the trade or not. Because listen, however you read comics, that's up to you. The number ones I picked up this week, we're going to start with Torrent by Mark Guggenheim. Art by Justin Greenwood, Rico Renzi, and Keith Wood. Let's hold up here. Torrent. It's kind of a revenge story in a lot of ways. Imagine if it was The Incredibles and the mom was the only one who had superpowers and her sidekick kind of betrayed her, resulting in the death of her family. Right? Basic story, but the art is quirky enough and there's enough buy-in for me where I'm curious, like, what happens to her after her family is taken here in this first issue? And do a simple story well, you'll always grab me with it. And this is a simple story told well. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's not a glowing review, but it's really hard to do a lot in a first issue. By Mark Guggenheim with Image, I would say read it. Go grab it if you want to. If you like a good revenge story, I like it. Now, we're going to contrast that with Brian Haberlin's The Last Barbarians, okay? The Last Barbarians is, there's too many points to buy in. Like, which story do you want me to buy into? Do the past story of where did her and her brother come from? What happened to her brother? The guilds where you can only be in one guild. Otherwise, you're a barbarian if you do more than one skill. Unfortunately for The Last Barbarians and Brian Haberlin, and I should highlight too that Brian Haberlin, Hannah Wall, Gerard Van Dyke, Francis Tekanaga, man, I'm probably butchering people's names and I'm sorry, but here's the point. If I were you, I wouldn't pick this up. It's a bad pilot. It is a pilot that wants to give you 17 different ways for you to care without giving enough attention to detail on one thing. Pick up Torrent from last week. Give it a try if you like a good revenge story. You can pick up The Last Barbarians. Tell me I'm wrong. Leave a comment. Shoot us an email at twobirdstone@gmail.com. Let me know that, hey, you're an idiot, and actually The Last Barbarians is great, and Brian Haberlin's a great writer, and you should give it a chance. That's fine. I am always willing to try new stories. I want to be a writer. I love experiencing people's new things. Now, I have picked up other books from this week, and let's highlight it. So, Swamp Thing, Green Hell, number 2. As you can see, John Constantine on the cover. The art in this book is phenomenal. Once number 3 comes out, I will review it in full. That is a great one. Danger Street, number 4. Or is it number 4 or is it number 5? Well, we'll figure it out as we go. Doesn't matter. Danger Street, Tom King. Tom King, my favorite writer. You're going to see as we highlight some of the graphic novels and things that I read that Tom King's a go-to. Alrighty, next one I grabbed was Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, number 5. Actually, this is the number 5, so that means Tom King's was definitely the number 4. So this is number 5. It's the classic Batman cartoon with the classic Scooby-Doo cartoon. There's nothing complex about this. Sometimes we're children and children read comics, and I like to relive childhood. So it's nothing complex. It's nothing crazy. Great comic, honestly, if you want to get your kids into comics, if they like Scooby-Doo, if they like Batman, different things like that. All right, into a couple of number 3s here. So number 3 for Hexware. Hexware is a story of an artificial AI robot who then summons a demon to try to buy a soul and uses magic. Pretty trippy stuff. Honestly, if you get me with a good concept and you know your concept, you'll always have me buy in, which will bring me to the best series I'm reading right now with Image, Art Brut. This is number 3. As you can see, what do you go with the Warhol cover here? This is awesome. If you're not reading this series, go pick up every issue because this is storytelling to me. This is insanity to me. Imagine if a detective could jump into paintings to solve mysteries. We will be reviewing all of those series in their entirety once they complete. Remember, all those issues, if you want to check out any of those series, I've already approved the number 1 because I'm on the number 3, the number 5, the number 4, the number whatever, right? I will be reviewing those as they come up this upcoming week. So the week of, I think it'd be February 20th, February 21st. Issues this week will be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3. I'll actually, before we even read that, I will review the first volume they did of that, which I have the trade paperback of. One Bad Day Clayface, I will review next week. Harley Quinn, the animated series number 5, I'll review all of that. Hopefully you guys are watching that show. It's hilarious. I'll review all of that once we get to issue number 6. Black Cloak by Kelly Thompson. If you can find it, pick it up. Kelly Thompson is one of the best writers. Black Cloak number 2. Will not be reviewing it. Honestly, I haven't been able to snag the number 1 or the number 2 for that, so we'll see. Local Man number 1 coming out with Image Comics. I will be reviewing that next week. Spawn Unwild Violence number 2. There's actually only 2 issues with that. It has more to do with the art. I'll explain that. But we will review the entire series, issues 1 and 2 of Spawn Unwanted Violence next week. Deadly Spider-Man number 5. That actually concludes the Deadly Spider-Man storyline. And I will also review all of that next week. Jam-packed episode 2. Jeez, look at the work I'm putting ahead of for myself. And then Deadpool number 4. I won't be reviewing Deadpool until after the 5th issue. Alyssa Wong, the writer on Doc Afra, the second writer on Doc Afra, is currently writing that series. She's an amazing writer, so we will be checking it out. Last Barbarians. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. If you like kind of quirky characters, a weird medieval world that doesn't really exist, it's not set in anything real, check it out. And with this, the art was decent, but the story I just couldn't buy into. Now, Torrent, once again, honestly, the art's okay. It's nothing great. The story I just bought into, and I don't know why. I just did. I want to see if Michelle can get her revenge as she goes throughout the series. I'm also curious why it's called Torrent, because they do not address that at all. So I will be reviewing some graphic novels as we go as well, probably on a slower week with fewer number 1s. I also just wanted to mention that you should always, always, always support your local comic shop. I go to Mega City 2 in Bakersfield, California. They're actually the ones who allowed me to shoot the opening of this video. So please, if you're in Bakersfield, California, tell them you saw my video. Go to Mega City 2. If you want to find a comic, you should go there. Except for Black Cloak, which I still can't get because everybody keeps buying. But that's the last addendum. This is Dustin Dry, 2 Birds Stone. Last week in comics this week. It was great reviewing with you.